Hey everyone, Greeno here, and welcome to another episode here on Greeno Eats. Well, perhaps this one ought to be called Greeno Eats after Greeno sleeps or something. I'm down in Torquay, in fact I'm in Babbacombe, which is an area of Torquay, and behind me there is the Anchorage Hotel, and that is my base for the night. I'm down here doing a little bit of filming around the town, and I'm going to kip over in this hotel. Now, what do we know about hotels in Torquay? Well, it's where they filmed 40 Towers. That's where that was set back in the day. So hopefully this is not going to be reminiscent of that, that's for sure. But we'll go and have a little look around the room. Hopefully they'll let me film the breakfast there tomorrow morning. And we'll see how it goes. Let's get inside. Right then, folks. Very smooth check-in. I was the only person in the queue at the check-in desk. I am here quite early. Check-in is from 2 o'clock and I've arrived around 2:15. But yeah, checked me in very, very easily. Gave me a key to my room. Proper key, not one of these key card things that seems to never work and you always have to go back down to reception. So a proper key to open a proper lock. There's a nice bit of security there. And the room doesn't look too bad. I'll give you a little tour around it. Before I do though, just a couple of little things to let you know about this place. So it's not right down on like main Torquay seafront. It's by Babbacombe. The reason I've picked it is it's walking distance to the football ground. And I'm going to a football match tonight, so that's why this location specifically. Also, it was cheap. So I booked it on booking.com. Now, booking.com is a site I use fairly regularly, and therefore I have what they call a genius level of 2. It's basically just some kind of loyalty scheme or whatever, and you get some points for wherever you stay if you've booked through that website. So, this room I'm staying in is supposed to be £43 per night, room only. Now bear in mind it's a Tuesday night, in December I'm stopping here, so not exactly peak season, although they do have a few sort of Christmassy tinsel tour type things where coach loads of pensioners turn up from around the country into Torquay this time of year and have a sort of turkey dinner. Whether that's happening in this hotel or not, I don't know, but this room was £43 anyway. That's on a room only basis. But because of my genius level with booking.com, I got a discount on that, taking it to £38 a night and free breakfast, which is normally charged at £7 by this hotel. So basically, that's got me, what, £12 discount. It would have cost me 50 quid if I wanted a breakfast and to stay in this room on that room only basis, paying for the breakfast afterwards. So to get it for 38 or 38.50 or whatever it was, is a bit of a bargain. That's pretty good. Right, let's take a look around the room. Not as grotty as you might think for that kind of money. Right guys, so let's show you around this room a little bit, shall we? So when you come in, immediately on the left hand side, hello everybody, is a bathroom. Fairly clean and tidy. We've got a shower there over the bath. Toilet there. And we come back round here, we have the sink there. So all good there. And then we come into the main room itself, which is pretty light and airy looking, isn't it? So we've got telly on the wall over there, some tea and coffee making facilities, and here a nice clean and tidy looking bed. A little bit crumpled because I just sat on it to see how comfy it was. We've got a desk there with a chair and a couple of comfy chairs here too. There's a wardrobe which I won't be able to get in without tripping over the bed, but believe me, it's there. And then if we come this way, looking out the window, of course we're in Torquay, aren't we? So there's a palm tree. They do like a palm tree down here. And just beyond that, we've got a bowling green and some tennis courts. Looks like quite a nice part of town, doesn't it? Right, so far I have to say, I'm reasonably impressed with this place. It's in a nice quiet location, tucked away from the main road, and like I said, from walking distance to the football ground, it's literally going to be about a 5-minute walk, I think, for me for later on. And that's what I was looking for. The room, clean, tidy, yeah, relatively basic. It's not the Ritz, but for £38.50 a night, you're not expecting the Ritz, are you? Anyway, I'm going to get settled in and I'll come back either a bit later on or tomorrow morning when it's breakfast time. There you go. There's a little note here saying breakfast is served from 7:30 till 10:30. So a chance of a lie-in if I want one as well. Marvellous. Morning, folks. So we've had the overnight here at the hotel. Pretty good sleep, to be honest. The bed was fairly comfy. I have started to notice how kind of tired and whatever this hotel is looking. There's bits and bobs of decorating that really need doing, to be honest. There's little bits of grout missing in the bathroom and paint chipped off in here. It looks like it hasn't been decorated in a while, but it is clean and tidy. And for the money I've paid, I can't really complain too much, can I? Anyway, it's going to be time for breakfast now, so let's head on down to the breakfast room and see if we can get some footage of that. Voiceover time. The Anchorage Hotel has a large breakfast room with tables set up for parties of various sizes, with simple but attractive place settings. Breakfast is a self-service affair, so you make your own toast and serve yourself tea, coffee and juices. They only use 2 domestic toasters though, so be prepared to wait if the breakfast room is busy. I got myself a flat white, an orange juice and some muesli. And of course, the famous toast Stonehenge. Muesli up first, and it was a tasty one. Had an Alpen kind of vibe about it. The orange juice was good, with a fresh flavour. But the flat white was dismal. Out of a machine, and I think they forgot to put the coffee in it. It was terribly weak. The hot buffet had most of what you would expect, although I would have liked there to be some black pudding. So here's my hot breakfast plate. At first glance, the eggs look okay, but the sausages seem to be the very cheap catering type of sausage, unfortunately. The tomatoes look very well cooked though, and the bacon seems to have the fat crisped up nicely. Let's give it a try. Start with the sausage, and it doesn't look great. It's not very well cooked, and it is that cheap chip shop style sausage. And the taste was bland. The texture kind of squishy, pretty unpleasant to eat. Egg next, and this was okay, although the yolk was hard. But it was still a nice tasting egg. Beans are beans, but these were good. A nice thick sauce, sweet taste, pretty decent. Tomato next, and this was really well cooked and absolutely delicious. Highlight of the breakfast for me. Let's try the hash brown. Never a favourite of mine. This was crispy, but bland. A bit pointless really. Bacon is usually the star of the show for me, so I had high hopes. And then I tasted it. It was dreadful, with a strange, sweet, chemical kind of taste. Just awful. I was hungry, so I persevered, but I wish I hadn't. I felt pretty bad afterwards. Right, well that's breakfast done. A fairly underwhelming affair, it has to be said. It's a crime against pigs to have sausages and bacon like that at a hotel buffet. I mean, the sausages were very much like the ones you'd get like in a really low quality chip shop. But at least they deep fry them and make them crispy. These were just soggy and horrible. Really deeply unpleasant. Bacon, also not great. Very cheapish. I mean, it's a relatively thick cut, but the quality was not there. Very, very little taste and a weird kind of sweetness to it. It was not nice. Highlight of the breakfast, tomato and beans. Could have eaten a lot of them. But that shouldn't really be the highlight of a hotel breakfast, should it? Well, unless you're vegetarian, you don't want to eat the sausage and the bacon, in which case it's brilliant for you. The eggs, they were okay, overcooked. They looked good, but the yolks were hard. And there's no dippy egg available, unfortunately. Toast was toast. It was a bit weird though, only having like 2 domestic toasters for a whole breakfast room. Now when I went down fairly early and it was fine, there was no one else using them. But by the time I'd finished my breakfast, the breakfast room was starting to fill up. It was maybe about a third full, and there were already queues for those toasters. So once it gets busy in there, it's just going to be a disaster. The lady serving the breakfast, or clearing up and whatever, was very, very pleasant, very nice, very helpful. So kudos to her. But unfortunately, the chefs let her down a bit. Overall, 5 out of 10 maybe. And so comes to an end my stay at the Anchorage Hotel in Torquay. So what do we make of it overall? Well, for the price paid, it's not bad. I mean, the price I paid, certainly. I've got a double room here with breakfast thrown in for £38.50. I mean, that is a bargain, isn't it, in this day and age? Um, Unfortunately, the breakfast wasn't great, but the room is okay. A little tired, could do with freshening up, a bit of decoration. There's little bits of paintwork missing, bits of grouting missing in the bathroom, that sort of thing. So it just needs a bit of a refresh. But for £38.50, you're not expecting to stay in the Ritz. The staff that I've encountered have all been perfectly pleasant. So it's not been a faulty towers type experience here in Torquay. Sleep was good. Slept well. The bed was nice and comfy. The area it's in is nice and quiet. There was no sort of passing traffic. The room I'm staying in has like a sort of bay window with single glazing, so you would hear a lot of exterior noise if there was anything going on, but I didn't hear anything. Slept like a baby. Well, that's a bit of a weird saying, isn't it? Because babies don't sleep very well. So slept like a teenager. In my experience, they sleep very well. What else can we say about the place? Oh, in the breakfast, the coffee was dreadful. It was out of a machine. It overflowed. It was obviously on the wrong settings. So I clicked on the flat white button. It filled up and then kept going. So, yeah, and it tasted horrible. It was like a really sort of cheap tasting coffee. I would have expected a latte to taste stronger than the flat white out of that machine tasted. So I'm glad I didn't have a latte out of it. Can you imagine? It'd just be like warm milk. But beyond that, yeah, a few little niggles, but for the money, it's fine. Would I stay here again? Yeah, yeah, if I wanted a cheap place to stay. I mean, it's not necessarily somewhere I'd bring the missus for a weekend or something. You'd want something a little bit more upmarket for that. But just for me to come down, stop overnight, go to a football match, do a bit of filming, it's fine. Right, so that's going to be it from me for this video. If you've enjoyed this little look around the Anchorage Hotel in Torquay, then don't forget, click a thumbs up on there for me. It does help with the channel. And if you're new around here and you like what you've seen, then why not consider clicking that subscribe button, ding your little bell for notifications, and you won't miss anything that comes up on the channel. Okay, I'm going to get sorted out and checked out. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.